What is the wisest thing that you can do? Now, this is something, in my opinion, that over the years I've met many people. And many people that I've met, I could say they were truly wise. But what do you think? What do you think is one of the wisest things that you can do in life? Comment down below. Let us know. How do you view someone who is wise? It may differ from person to person, but you let us know. What do you consider something that the wise people do in life? I love that. Anna says, being present. Yes, being present. Definitely a wise thing to do, you know. You don't want to be, dwelling on the past and ruminating on the future all the time. You want to be in the present moment. Being grateful, of course, gratitude, the great attitude. But what is something that you can actively do, actively in life, maybe from person to person, to acquire wisdom, or something that you would consider is a wise thing to do? Picture yourself in a classroom, right? And the students are sitting in the desks, just listening to the lecture. And the teacher says something, and she asks a question. And maybe the students who raise their hands have an answer, right? But I feel like when we look at someone who answers and someone who asks, there's a difference. And I feel like acquiring wisdom is something that we can do actively each day with something that is within our power. I love this. Anna says practice. Tanya says have learned from many experiences and inner knowing. Much love to that. Now, we definitely can say that we've learned from many experiences, of course. And we can cultivate that inner knowing, something that no one can take away from us. But another way that we can be said to be wise, in my opinion, what I've told everybody that I've interacted with, who I've said, yo, you are really wise. Something that anyone can do in any interaction that you have. There's a story of a psychologist, and he goes to visit a Zen master. And he wants this Zen teacher to teach him his wisdom, right? And he goes and he sits down in front of the Zen master. And he says, can you teach me the ways of Zen? Teach me the art of Zen. I desire to know. And the master silently walks near him. And he takes a teapot with tea and he starts pouring into the psychologist, this gentleman that is there to learn. He pours into his cup. And then he just keeps pouring, and he keeps pouring, and he just keeps pouring, and he just keeps pouring. And all of a sudden, the tea has risen up to the level, and now it's running over. The tea is streaming out of the cup. It's just falling down. It's dripping all over the place. And the psychologist, the man, says, what are you doing? Stop, stop. No more can go in, right? And the Zen master picks up the teacup and smiles and says, how will you be able to learn if you do not first empty your cup? See, the psychologist, the gentleman that had gone there, he came there with a lot of knowledge packed up here, right? He had all these things he thought he knew. Whereas my friend Ivana here, our friend, would say, the one thing I know is that I know nothing. Have you ever known somebody who said, I know that, man. You don't got to tell me that. Man, I already know that. Man, come on, man. Tell me something I don't know, right? You ever known someone like this that seems to know everything? Well, when you know everything, my friend, when your cup is full, what more can go in? How much more can you learn? Yes, yes, Carly said it. Empty your cup to fill it back up. We learn nothing from life if we think that we are right all the time. When we believe that we are correct, right? Because even in every belief, in the word belief, there is a lie. You might have been given someone else's beliefs, and you believe what they believe. Hence, it is received with some doubt. But you can cultivate that inner knowing as well. But something that is wise to do, that I feel like is very wise for people to do, and something that I strive to do, is something that we all can do, and that is to ask questions. They say, ask and you shall receive, right? For the wise man is one who knows what he does not know. The fool believes he is wise, and therefore he remains a fool. The wise one knows he is a fool, and therefore he is wise. True things often sound very paradoxical. So asking questions, right, is one of the wisest things that anyone can do, in my opinion, because wisdom is not free. You have to pay attention. You might have to ask questions. You might have to lower your ego, humble yourself to know that you know nothing. And in the instance, many people are afraid to ask questions because inherently they are afraid to die. By asking a question, you are relinquishing your power for the moment to the other person, saying, in that instant, there is something I can learn. This is something I don't know, and therefore I will ask. And in that asking, you're basically saying and proclaiming that you don't know everything. But you know that's one of the best positions you can be in to learn. For if you think you know everything, I guess you've learned all you need to know in this life. I love how Michelangelo, they say, when he was approaching his deathbed in his 80s, you know, Michelangelo, famous sculptor, inventor, painter, famous man throughout history that did a lot for art. He said, Ancora imparo, which I believe in Italian means, I am still learning. If a man like Michelangelo, who had done all these great works, in the ripe old age of his 80s, says, I am still learning, then who are we, right? Who are we to say we know all there is to know? So understand that the one who asks a question might be a fool for 5 minutes, but the one who does not ask remains a fool forever. Never underestimate another person. They might be your elder, and they might be younger than you, but you can learn something from everyone you meet. People can teach you what to do. People can teach you what not to do. We can learn by asking questions. We can learn through observation. They say the smart person knows, or the smart one learns from their own mistakes, but the wise one learns from the mistakes of others. You can tell a smart person by their answers, but you can tell a wise person by their questions. Never stop asking questions. Even question the people that you feel are telling the truth. Still question. Still question. Because without a good question, they say a good answer has no place to go. An answer wants to go somewhere. It's like, let me at him, let me at him. But an answer has no place to go without a good question. So if you want to receive good answers in life, Start by asking good questions. I love it when somebody comes up to me and is like, hey, Jerome, what do you think about such and such? I'm like, dang, that's a good question. And it allows us to dive deeper. It allows us to really get to the core of these things, bringing out more nuance, squeezing the juice, right? Extracting it with good questions, doing away with the pulp and getting down to the nitty-gritty. We bring more out with these questions. Lastly, quote from Bruce Lee, the most dangerous person is the one who listens, thinks, and observes. Remember that wisdom is not free. We have to pay attention. You might have to ask a few questions, humbling yourself to know that you know nothing. But by knowing nothing, you have everything there is to learn at your disposal. Thank you so much, my friend, for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for receiving the message today. This came streaming through, and I really appreciate you being. Yes, Zira said, not reacting, just observing. Listen, yes, ask. There you are. You got it. You got it. Hey, Carly, thank you for joining. Kometsi, what's happening? Thank you for joining. Much love. Yeah, Zira says, unlearning. Yeah, deprogramming to reprogram. One of the hardest things that I ever had to do, that was also one of the easiest things, if I think about it, was unlearning. I actually am so thankful and grateful that I didn't have more education, that I didn't have a doctorate or a PhD in these things, because I would have had so much more that I had to unlearn to be able to accept a new idea, to be able to acknowledge another way of being. If you can imagine, if I had all this knowledge on nutrition and minerals and vitamins, all the things that I thought I needed, the food pyramid and all these things, it would have been hard for me to accept that I could live on prana, that I could live without food, right? That I could live in this way today, because I would have had so much more to break down and to let go of. So really, by being a skeptic is how I got here. A fair amount of skepticism is healthy, I think. We should all have it within us to keep that door cracked. Never close the door on your perception. Always leave it just open a smidge. Empty your cup so that you can fill it back up with new information that might challenge your beliefs. But as we know, the falsities and a lie hates to be challenged. But truth, it welcomes it. It welcomes even more questions. So much love, my friend. Yes, yes. Let me Tanya, you're funny. Elijah, what's happening, brother? We don't see you too often. Thank you for joining. Yes, thank you for being here. Much love to you, Tanya. Much love, Anna, Carly, Ivana. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Really appreciate you. Hey, Alyssa, thank you, too. Awesome. So, my friend, Coach Latasha came through. Thank you. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad. We are both learning. We are both willing to ask questions, willing to listen, observe, and learn. So much love, my friend. Thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you for the love, the likes, and shares. If you're watching this on the replay, definitely tag someone below who you feel like could gain value from this message. Drop a nugget, a word of wisdom for us that you would like for us to take with us and give some value that way. Definitely jump in my DMs. If we don't know each other, I'd love to get to learn more about your path and your journey today. Hit the bell notification, ding that bell if you'd like to be notified whenever we do these live sessions. And check out the Open Palm podcast. The link is in the bio for you, your listening pleasure, and your daily inspiration, my friend. Be well, be blessed, be encouraged, be enthused, be enlightened, be energetic, and make the rest of your life and the breath of your life the best of your life, my friend. Keep asking questions. Don't be afraid to ask. Ask, and you shall receive. Much love.